On today's episode, we discuss getting smashed being a skill set and the white belt mindset.
Is Khamzat Chimaev unstoppable?
We dive into more listener questions.
Black belts, black eyed peas, black and black eyes. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the pod, episode 99 of the BJJ Balance Podcast. I'm here with my host today, Matt Vega, Mr. Oast Nation himself. We are on the cusp of episode 100, brother. We've got awesome topics to talk about, but first, we just got to show Matt.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Hey, we just had this big man class, Check Matt Corona. Kenny and I were there. It was good times, great times. Some people say wonderful times. Met some guys that, you know, a lot of guys who watch the pod, listen to us. It was exciting to get out there and meet some people and show some stuff I've learned over the last 16 years. So I had a really good time, pretty good turnout. Shout out to everybody who came, especially some of my guys up from my gym. Big Marco, shout out to you. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Kenny, obviously. Shout out to my boy Vader. Everybody came out to support, which was really, really cool. Had some guys from Mission Jiu-Jitsu come and show out for us. So it was pretty cool. But afterwards, we go, it's a big man class. We go to dinner. We go, Nate Legs already had, hey guys, Islands Burgers. Like, I was like 3 days before, like, this guy loves Island Burger.
He loves Islands. I don't quite get it.
Guys, I kind of found an Islands Burger. It's right around the corner. I'm like, all right, dude, say less. Okay, fine. So I'm sitting there, we're sitting there, and I'm feeling my eyebrow. I'm like, dude, I think my eyebrow's swollen. I think someone popped me in the fucking eye. Like, no, it doesn't look like it. And I'm like, nah, dude, I've had a number of black eyes, not guys, with the E, eyes. And I know, I know what's about to fucking happen here. And sure as shit.
Jesus.
You fucked me up.
God damn, bro.
But that's the kind of instruction you're going to get when you have Oast Nation come to a seminar or teach a class. I lead with my face. I'm not afraid to get my face. My face is another hand. You know what I mean? Would be a horrible porn star.
Or not,
but
gay.
Like, literally, one of my, I even put the lapel in my mouth. Like, I'm everything. Like, this is another hand for me. So, if you had to put my jiu-jitsu in a nutshell, look at my face. That's kind of my style. Nothing pretty about it. But yeah, good turnout. It was exciting. What I liked the most about it was, couple times guys are like, walk up to Kenny and they go, hey, you're a lot bigger than we thought.
Yeah, I'm not a little
Kenny,
guy,
but I think we make it seem like, oh, I'm the big guy and you're a little guy. This isn't a Jake and a fat man type of fucking podcast. You know what I mean?
No.
This is, Kenny's a big guy. I mean, 6 foot 220 also, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, so that was good times, man. I enjoyed it. I was enjoying to see different people.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Jimmy Tat to open up his gym to us. He showed up.
Very cool.
He let Matt do his thing. It was cool to see. I mean, for the most part, it was all dudes that were big guys. You know what I mean? Be it height or weight or both. And I think everybody's excited to kind of like, adjust their game for their size. And I think it's cool that you're kind of leading the charge. Telling people that it's okay. I mean, it's okay to use your strength. It's okay to use your size. It's okay to use what you've got. Some people are gifted in other ways. Some people are insanely flexible. Some people just have crazy athleticism. You know what I mean? Like look at someone like J-Rod. You know what I mean? Like he's just, as a blue belt, his athleticism was through the roof, and he was, medaling at ADCC. So it's like, why do they get to embrace their gifts and guys that are larger have to ignore them or downplay them so that it's fair? You know what I mean?
Right. If you're playing the game, jiu-jitsu is a lot of people say chess, and I don't know how to play chess, and I know it's strategy and like setting traps, so I can get that. I comp jiu-jitsu to golf, believe it or not, even though your boys never played golf. It's the same game for everybody, but guys play it differently. There's guys who are good at the short game. There's guys who are good at mid-range. There's guys who are just long drive guys. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different ways you can play it. There's guys who are good with the different wedges and whatever. So I comp it a lot to golf because, and you could be great if you're just good at your style. You know what I mean? And so like, I think that like some professors try to mold the whole academy to them. And the only way you're going to rank up is they assume everybody is like you, which you got to realize with injuries and with size and genetics, some stuff,
age,
some stuff you're just not going to get to where, like, there's some stuff that a smaller jiu-jitsu guy does that I can't do. So I think it's essential to a good professor see your student and then be able to fix or be able to make him become what he is best at with the attributes that he has. So not try to make him invert if you know, like, you know, he's not a guy who's going to invert. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to make him big. So I think it's cool that like schools have like a big man class, you know, because, you know, Jimmy Tap, not a big guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Very technical guy. Fucking real good. Damn good. But
very
not a technical guy, but like, he's like, okay, I got big guys in my gym that want to learn big guy stuff. And he's confident enough in his school and in his abilities to have bigger guys come in and show stuff. I think that's pretty cool.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that just shows that like you said, he's looking out for his people to make sure that they're getting what they need, but also he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder about it. Like, I'm not going to let some other man in my gym let me teach
right.
class.
And that is a big thing, but I think you have that, like, and maybe I'm just greasing checkmate. Okay. But you have that freaking chess piece behind you and you have that credential.
Right.
You don't have to prove anything. You know what I mean? Like, if you have the vouch, because you know the lineage is tighter than two fat faggots in a phone booth. You know what I mean? So like, you don't have to like, it is a good lineage. And so you don't have to like have nothing to prove.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I think that you're fortunate to where you come from, you know, your lineage specifically. Like, Poncho is well known, not just in the jiu-jitsu world, but specifically in the checkmate world. Like, he's a major player in that checkmate world. So if somebody hears like, oh, one of, you know, Ricardo Feliciano's black belts is going to come up, like that's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, and a trusted thing. Like, I know that this technique's going to be legit because Poncho doesn't hand out black belts like that. So, and same thing to me. He asked where Jimmy came up to me earlier. He's like, oh, so do you train at Checkmate Marriott? I was like, no, I train at Dedicated with Jason Medina, and he knows Jason. So he was just like, oh, right on, blah, blah, blah. Like, so it's cool that we have that.
Very cool vibe down there. Very cool. So if you're in the Corona area,
Matt's not a drinker, dude. The big guy class, after big guy class is over, they fucking had a cooler. They popped it open, and there's just cases of beer.
That's how. Hey, man, I would not expect anything less from a big guy class. I knew I was in a big guy class. They have a train. I was like, "What's up, guys? My name is Matt." It's like, I'm like, "Oh shit." Locomotive, like, hell yeah, that's how you set a big class. That's how you set the tone for a big man class. Big ass train just the tracks. I'm like, oh yeah, freight train's coming for sure.
Talk a little bit about, I don't think we need to dive into the whole card, but let's talk about the Khamzat versus DDP fight and grappling.
That shit made me
getting
sad, dude.
Fucking the W of W's, bro.
Your boy gambles. Okay, first of all, your boy gambles a lot. Gamble. I like the sports gamble. Sue me. and I had a prize picks. This was prize picks. So basically it's fantasy over unders basically. And I had a prize picks and I had 2 set. All I needed was Drickus to get 39 significant strikes over. So 40. I needed 40 significant strikes. That was discounted. It was like a free call. So they sometimes will throw you like, hey, get in on this bet. We just took Drickus's, it was like 70 significant strikes. We dropped it to 39. So it's like basically like, oh, this is a free square, basically. You know what I mean? Motherfucker got 13 strikes, dude.
9 significant.
That's crazy, bro.
Couldn't even get double digits in a 25-minute fight.
God. Which I mean, you know, it's your job to stop that. I don't, you know,
what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Rogan had made a comment twice, both times it happened, when they stopped the fight and stood it up? What are your thoughts on that?
As someone who needed significant strikes, I was very happy. but as no, they probably shouldn't have. Even though I think like he was kneeing him in his ass cheek and stuff, like it's not appealing. And I think this kind of goes a little bit what we were talking about last week with the PGF. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't appealing to the naked eye. You know what I mean? But like I said last week, also UFC doesn't like jiu-jitsu. They don't want ground. They want stand. So, and I know, but the referee's a third party, but Goddard's also European. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. They don't really like ground so much over there. They're getting that way, but I don't think that it's as prevalent. But I think they probably shouldn't have standing them up. They probably should have let him stand. You got to stand up on yourself, or get to a secure guard. Like if Drickus could have got to a closed guard and got an overhook,
right?
Then okay, stand up. I mean,
right.
But like just chilling in turtle, you're dying in turtle.
All I kept thinking was like, in the off chance that they break this up, they stand him back up, and Drickus just happens to land the one that knocks him out. That would be insanely unfair. Like he didn't earn the right to be standing in front of him, squared up to throw that punch. You know what I mean? Like,
right. No, 100%.
But that didn't happen. You know, but we know Drickus has that power, so that was scary. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, that could happen. You know what I mean? The both times.
And he clipped him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Dan Thomas came out and was like, you know, the reason Gilbert Burns was so successful is because he had a really, really good guard, and he made Chimaev work on passing the guard, and he couldn't pass the guard. And he was able to gas him that way. And that was good. That was a good callback to that Gilbert Burns fight. And I think that is good. Like a good submission guy. Obviously, Drickus's guard wasn't at the level of Chimaev's passing, obviously, with the crucifixes, right? But I think something that could give Chimaev trouble, obviously him going backwards, he was taking shots and he missed his takedown. And, you know, you got to get the wrestler getting afraid of the strike. So you have to stuff one or two. Once you stuff one or two, he's going to lose a little confidence in shooting. And he's going to gas himself shooting, hopefully, that maybe you can like land more strikes. But if you do get takedown, you do get into turtle position, I think somebody who's really, really good at like leg locks and leg entanglements, inverting and getting underneath and like attacking the feet, that might be a different style or a different look that Chimaev's not used to seeing. You know what I mean? Fighting the legs, because his top pressure and his belly, his chest to chest and upper body attacks are so superior. If Drickus would have inverted and went to like a leg or something like that, you know what I mean? Or threat and heel hook or something like that, that could be a way to maybe nullify the constant pressure that Chimaev presents. As dominant as Chimaev was, and it was probably the most dominant freaking challenger fight ever, I think everybody can agree they saw ways that he could get beat. Like he did, it was dominant, but you saw that there was ways. Like he's like, okay, look at he now he gave up mount. Drickus was on top at the end. He did eat a big right hand. Like there's ways that you could see him losing. So yeah, that, I mean, it was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fights. I think that, what do you think of UFC fights moving forward, moving to Paramount?
It's hard to say because we don't know the specifics of that deal. You know what I mean? Like, it's really kind of like open-ended. We know that they're going to Paramount Plus, but we don't know. And we know that they're not going to be pay-per-view anymore. And Dana's come out and said, no, there's still going to be pay-per-view, or there still is going to be pay-per-view, just not all of them. So,
I think the main cards are going to suffer.
I have Paramount Plus already. Is there going to be a secondary tier that includes UFC that's going to be more expensive? Or am I going to get it with what I'm already paying for? I mean, it's the same way that, like, right now, if you want to watch the fights, you have to have ESPN Plus to then buy the pay-per-view.
Right.
So, you know, theoretically.
That's lame.
Yeah, theoretically.
Gay. I've brought gay back so bad. I got to quit saying gay.
I say retarded all the time. You say gay, I say retarded.
I got to quit saying it. Like, that's so gay. What happened? I'm like going back into my 1990s era
I think it's coming back. I think I was talking to my daughter. My daughter's 23. I was talking to her when she was visiting here last week about that. And I kept saying gay a lot. And I looked at her. I was like, I don't know if that's offensive to you or anything like that. She goes, I have gay friends that say shit's gay. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I always go, gay shit. That's my new thing. I don't know, man. We're going to get canceled. We haven't made money yet.
I saw something today on the topic of cancellation today. I saw a video today. Actually, Tex Johnson posted it. And it was Denzel. Somebody was asking Denzel, you know, is he afraid to be canceled? And he goes, I can't be canceled. And he's just like, I don't subscribe to it. So how can I be canceled? He's like, the world doesn't have, you can't be a follower and a leader at the same time. And I don't care what the public's opinion is. I'm a leader. I lead. I do whatever I want. And people follow me. And he's just like, so you can't cancel me because I'm going to keep doing what I want anyway. And I think
would care, Denzel, if you only had 25K in your account and your savings.
Yeah. But that,
you know I think if you only had like, or less, so if you only had like,
but I think his point is that he doesn't care about the money. I mean, I guess he can say that because he has the money, but I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing regardless. You know, the financial repercussions don't really mean anything to me because I think it's more important for him to be true to himself.
If we got canceled, Kenny, if the podcast got canceled and they kicked us off all platforms, we're done.
With the podcast is done. But my life is fine.
No one can hear us. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Find us. We'll be at the corner of fucking Killarney's.
Yeah.
Just talking. Like, no, like we can get canceled. They could just shut us down and it's over.
Yeah, but there's other platforms that we can move to. That's not a worry of mine. So the people that want to listen to it, the people that want to, the people that want to listen to us are gonna listen to us regardless. You know what I mean? And
my feelings this weekend though, Kenny. Kenny told me that he's like, when I edit the videos, like I try to get some of your wrinkles gone and shit. I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
Well, you admit when we got Matt the new Kenny. When we got Matt the new camera, he's like, yeah, it looks great, but man, and he's like looking in the camera, he's like, you can see everything. I was
you like, motherfuckers zoom in, zoom out. Like that one guy, zoom out. Fuck. Zoom. You guys zoom in so if I got my pores and shit all out there. Like, man. Like this eye is just gonna be like hold
on. We've got part 2 of our white belt series that we're diving into today. And this is a good one. I think this is something that definitely fresh white belts really need to hear. And it's a perspective that I think gets overlooked often. I think most people that dive into jiu-jitsu are really, I mean, I guess people get into jiu-jitsu for different reasons, but a lot of guys, especially the guys that have kind of an ego and whatnot, the idea of getting beat, it breaks them. You know what I mean? And I think this topic has been recently relevant with even guys like Gordon. Gordon's like, I will tap in the training room so I don't have to tap in competition. Like he admits that like people will beat me at practice, but practice is practice. Practice is there to experiment. Practice is there to, learn mistakes or maybe your limits on something. Like how far can they get this choke? How much can I fight it and try to get out of it, kind of a thing. And I think that fresh guys to the sport that maybe come in with that ego and are like really, they don't want to lose anything ever, no matter what. They need to understand that part of jiu-jitsu is getting comfortable with getting smashed. That's that's part of the learning process. But also, you know, again, if something sucks and you just are like, you just start bearing through it and you're just like, I'm just going to let this, you know, I'm not fully choked out. I'm not blacking out. It's uncomfortable. You know, maybe my jaw's getting smashed, but like, can I fight through this and get out of it? Like, that's part of learning jiu-jitsu, is like learning your tolerances. Like, well, how much are you willing to take to try to fight out of something? How badly do you want this? You know what I mean? So like, you got to kind of be okay with losing sometimes. And I guess the topic of today is, you know, getting smashed is a skill set in jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's going to happen. That's just part of it. Like the fear of knowing, I think that's part of the worst part about signing up, is because, you know, as soon as you walk on, you're getting for some trouble. I think that you should, I think learning to breathe, frames, all that kind of stuff, but you don't know that at first. When you don't know how to breathe, or you don't know what danger is, sometimes you're tapping early, or, you know what I mean? Because you don't know like what really is danger. So how do you kill the fear? As a blue belt, Kenny, how did you kill the fear of being smashed?
Once I had a sweep and I was landing it consistently on people, then I came to the conclusion that like, I'm only going to be this guy and my game's going to be very one-dimensional unless I start thinking outside the box and taking some risks and taking some chances. And I knew that by taking those risks and chances that I was going to inevitably start to lose more often, and start to get smashed. But I knew that I could always revert back to my game that I developed at that point. And if I maybe started to experiment enough before people learned my game in my gym, my game would still be relevant. You know what I mean? If I just continue to always play half guard lockdown, and that's all I ever play, then eventually my guys in the gym are going to figure it out. And now it's going to be worthless. So it's like the thing that I have, my game, now doesn't mean anything because everybody's already got the answer to it. So I wanted to avoid that situation. So it's like, okay, well, we know that we got it. We're pretty good at it. We can get it outside of the gym as well. So let's start to work on some other guards that can relate to the one thing that I do like. That way, if it starts to fail, I can revert back to what I know and have in my pocket. And, but again, not kind of over wearing out that technique. So that was kind of my motivation. That was why I was like, I need to be okay with losing, because I'm going to start experimenting and kind of thinking outside the box here and trying to find different things. I think something that I've always had from the start of my jiu-jitsu journey is I've got a good idea of like balance and base. So if I do end up on top, or if I'm in someone's half and they're trying to sweep me, like that rarely happens.
Right.
And that's even for like higher belts, you know what I mean? Like it rarely, and I'm not just saying like, I'm good at like understanding like, okay, don't overcommit to like my weight going one direction so I get swept that easily. It's like, and if I feel them, you know, let's say they're playing deep half and they're scooping under the knee, it's like I can base out with my hand and stuff it relatively
sprawl back. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you feel the people under you when they go for that sweep and it instantly gets stuffed. They're like, oh fuck. You know what I mean? Like they, cause I'm not a light guy. So they put a lot of energy and power to try to make that movement happen. And as soon as I shut it down, like it zaps energy out of them. So, but also
I think it's kind of hard for us too, because we're not
small guys.
Small.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Well, you know, the once I learned the effectiveness, okay, I've been rolling with Matt about 2 years, not consistently because we do train at different gyms, but semi-frequently. And Matt has a really heavy pressure game. There's not a lot of larger guys in my gym that are larger than me. There's a couple, but so I don't get that pressure often. And once I felt Matt's pressure, it was like, oh, I got to learn this. You know what I mean? Like I have the body type for this. I've got to learn this. This is so much fun. Just expelling as little energy as possible, but still like having this like strategic game. Like what you went over in the class this last week as far as like playing side control and then like shifting your weight because they're going to try to bump you this way. So you turn to your ribs and they're going to try to bump you that way. So you go back to side control. And it's just having that little sequence of like pressure moves that you can chain together back to back to back where you never let the pressure go. At no point are you lifting your chest off of them or like giving them a chance to breathe. You're just switching it. Yeah. And it just gets tighter every time. You know what I mean? So every time that they breathe out, you're just crushing them more and just you're stealing little bits of breath, which with every time they exhale, you're stealing little bits of breath from their body. And it's awesome. So once I knew that somebody could do that to me, it became two-part. One, how do I do it? And two, when Matt's doing it to me or somebody like Matt's doing it to me, how do I survive it? How can I breathe differently or where can I sneak a frame in just to give me enough space to just breathe so I don't have to tap to pressure? And, but also when you learn that, now when you're trying to pressure tap somebody, you know the signs of what to look for when they're trying to do what you do to breathe. You know, so it's like when you're learning the defense, your offense gets better because now you're learning how you would try to stop your own game. So when someone tries to play that game on you, you're like, I already have the answer for this.
There is probably a 4 to 5 second window between moves that higher belts don't even realize they're doing it and lower belts don't even know. But if you're a lower belt, you should know. If I'm passing your half guard and I've got the underhook and I'm lifting the elbow and I'm knee slicing and all you're holding on to is my foot, you know the slice is coming. You know I'm just going to kick back. I'm going to pass soon, right? And when I pass, I already know I'm reaching for your lapel. I already know when I pass, I already know what I want to do in that 4 seconds. Because in this 4 to 5 seconds of when a transition happens, the guy on the bottom is always going, fuck, I can't believe it. They get mad and they kind of just freeze and they think like, oh, fuck, he passed, blah, 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 blah. And in that nerfed moment of them is when I'm looking for something else to get another edge because I know they're just pissed because I passed. Or they're like, you know what I mean? So I use that little 4 to 5 seconds to get to another check position. You as the lower belt or as the person being smashed should be like, oh shit, okay, I'm going to lose it here. He's going to pass. What do I need to do when he passes? I need to make sure my hands are not extended. I need to make sure at least when he passes, I'm framed a little bit so maybe I can get to it in half. Like you should not get past and then be like, damn it. When you think like, God, they're already going, the higher level guys already grabbing something else and getting something else. Don't freeze when the danger happens that you know is going to happen. If you know he's going to get something or you know he's going to pass, before he passes thinking, okay, he's going to pass. Okay. Oh, the plane. We're going down. Mayday, mayday, mayday. What do we need to do here? Okay, I need to get my thing on my face. I need to, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to be like, well, I guess wait till we hit the water before and I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like there's things you can do to minimize the smashing but if you get mad at yourself and panic when you're getting the guy passes, then he's going to get into a better spot. So that's a little hack. Before the bad happens, think about how you can minimize the bad because you know it's going to happen. I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you, going off the point that you just said about that little 4 to 5 seconds, sometimes even if I'm on the defense, so like, I'll use an example like this past week, I'll do like little friendly shit talking, not spiteful or anything like that. But a guy tried to wrist lock me while I'm trying to pass his half guard.
I know who that is. Hey, Jordan.
No. This is actually on Friday.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Yeah,
the big man class.
Yeah,
come on, guys.
He tried to wrist lock me. Well, I'll say this: because of Jordan constantly trying to wrist lock me, I've now become very aware that wrist locks are there. So as soon as I feel any slight pressure on there, I'm immediately pulling and like readjusting. And so the guy tried to wrist lock me, and I pulled my arm out, and I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, you think you're going to wrist lock me? And it was like, I was on the defense, but just me saying that, I know that in his head, he was thinking like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? He's talking shit. Yeah. Like he's talking shit. And he knows I was trying to like, and I said, I'm okay with you taking this low hanging blue belt fruit, but not that low. And then I actually proceeded to pass at that point, but it was just like a little like, I'm going to say something to get in your head. So now you're thinking about what just happened versus what you're going to do next. And it gives me that little bit of room to breathe to where like maybe I can use that second to try to pass. So yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Like Clint is a black belt, one of my teammates and friend. He'll do shit like, oh no, don't let me grab that. Don't let me grab that sleeve. Uh-oh. I got it now. What are you gonna do? Uh-oh. You ready to fly? You ready to fly? He'll say there's people. He'll say stuff like that. Like, uh-oh, you're fucked up now. You're in real trouble now. I wouldn't grab that if I was you. He'll say stuff like that, but really he doesn't want you to grab that. Or really you're thinking like, what's he done? He's got you thinking about that. And really he's thinking about grabbing something else. So he's kind of eliminated that 4-second window for you. He's created it. So you're not even thinking about that, but he's already thinking of something else.
He's got you looking over
it's
here.
There's the mental warfare of jiu-jitsu is so intense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like a, you know, like little David Blaine, like illusion stuff, like got you distracted over here. I'm over here working, you know, so I'm talking about this hand over here, like, but meanwhile, I've already grabbed something over here that I wanted and I'm going to let this go. And now you're thinking, why did he let that go? Because I don't need it now. I've already got this thing over here that I wanted. Yeah.
And a lot of pressure does that. Little hand under the back will get you to extend your arm so I can get to the arm. Like little guys will go get the arm. Big guys make you bring the arm. I don't want to go get it.
As far as like injury avoidance in this whole, conversation here, I think that there's definitely some things when it comes to certain submissions, like, hey, maybe I will try to like fight through this. But when it comes to other submissions, like maybe that's not a smart move. Hey, Steve, that's 40, that works a corporate job, or that, you know, that works a white collar job where he's got to shovel dirt all day or something like that. Like you've got a family to provide for. Maybe you don't try to fight through the armbar. Maybe you just tap because it's not worth it. It's not competition. You don't need to see how far your arm can extend. Getting choked is one thing. You're going to wake back up. You're going to be fine. But certain, joint locks and whatnot, maybe it's not so smart to fight through this. Maybe you just concede the tap in practice and move on.
I tapped. Well, last time I tapped a guy. I was teaching a class at Mission. I was like a week after knee surgery or 2 weeks after knee surgery or coming back. So maybe 3 weeks after knee surgery. And the guy dove for my foot, dude. He dove for my knee from the no-gi. I just tapped. It's like, nah, bro. I'm not even going to defend it, bro. Like, don't even look at it. So. But yeah, no, like you gotta know your body, know your limits, know your bank account, know your financial situation, know who you're working for, know that like this is to get you healthy, this is to get you in shape. Getting injured is not getting you healthy and not getting you in shape when you're on the shelf. So if you can kill the ego, which is that's probably the main thing you need to learn at white belt, is killing your ego. And it's hard and it's there. I was rolling with brown belt Justin about 3 weeks ago at my gym, and I messed up on a move. I tried something new and I messed up on a move and he passed and I'm taking my back and it was gi. So he locked in the seatbelt, you know what I mean? And I was stuck there. I was like, motherfucker, dude. God. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to sub, but he got me because I screwed up and I had to drive home pissed. I wasn't pissed, but I was like, God damn it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I made sure I got that one back. I tried anyways, and I did. But like, I was like, damn it, dude. Like, I had to wear that. And I think it's good. It's good to be mad that you lose. Being mad that you lose, there's nothing wrong with losing. We all do it. Come back, fight again. Don't be afraid to lose and tap. Because what if you broke your arm?
Right.
and he beat you, and that's a long wait for your rematch.
And he's getting better because you're not training.
Yeah, and he's getting better, and you're waiting, and now you freaking got Cheeto fingers, you got fat. Don't, excuse me. Don't laugh. Take, like, just tap and get back in it.
Especially in a white belt where you don't, maybe a big injury like that kind of crushes your jiu-jitsu journey to a point where you just quit, where you don't come back. Because you've got to take 6 to 8 weeks off to heal, and then like you find another hobby. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe it takes something away from you that like you could have been something in jiu-jitsu. You could have, I'm not saying world champion or anything like that. Maybe, possibly, but like you could have. It could have changed your life. You could have, made some solid friendships that would have lasted the rest of your life and whatnot. And because 8 months into your jiu-jitsu journey, you got your arm broken because you didn't tap to an arm bar. And now you're out, and you don't come back, and that would be
a guy.
Oh, really?
I talked to a big guy, and his professors told me that like he was competing all the time, and he did a tournament, and he lost that blue, and he quit, and he didn't get hurt. He just didn't like the feeling of losing. Hey, I think a lot of people think jiu-jitsu. And this could be a hot take. A lot of people think jiu-jitsu is, you have to get the black belt. I think a lot of people think, hey, that's what we're here for. I don't think that's what everybody's here for. I think the more popular jiu-jitsu gets, people don't care about getting the black belt as much. I think they want to just be part of the team. They think a lot of times they want to get in better shape. They want to say they're doing jiu-jitsu. I don't think like you really, really want that black belt till you see that thing turn purple. And I think that that's why people quit. That's why their turnaround is so fast at the lower belts. I don't think
I can totally agree with that. I think that some people, obviously, yes, they have the black belt aspirations from day one. But some people, it seems so far away, Oh, like, yeah. You go do Taekwondo, you can get a black belt in 3 years. Like, really, you can get a black belt in 3 years. Like, you're proficient at Taekwondo. And it doesn't take the skill level to get good at Taekwondo from like a point, standpoint and like a technique standpoint, because the techniques aren't nearly as vast. There's only so many kicks and punches, is not the equivalent of like what it takes to get to a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And I think that in jiu-jitsu, it's like, you're like, this is a 10-year journey. 8, if you're lucky, you know what I mean? If you can avoid injuries and you just go to class 5 days a week and you're like on point, you can probably get there in 8. And I'm factoring out like, crazy athleticism or like just natural God gifted talent and things like that. But like, you're just your average person. So you're looking at like 8 to like 12 years for a black belt. It's like, that's a long, most people haven't had a dog that long. You know what I mean? They definitely haven't had a relationship that long. So it's like,
right.
That you're telling me that I have to commit to this, this sport, this activity, this team for over a decade before I get to black belt. And then I look at other black belts in the room and I'm like, I'm never going to be as good as them. They've been a black belt longer than it's going to take me. And by the time I'm a black belt, they're going to be 3 stripes, 4 stripes. Like,
and we're the same age.
Right.
I mean,
so yeah, you almost, there's almost like you have to be okay. Like with the punishment that it's going to, you know what I mean? Like I may be good and I may be able to beat up a lot of guys in the world, but there's always going to be a chunk of men that will just fuck me up and there's nothing I can do about it.
Do you think that schools like the no-gi only schools, do you think that is a selling point for them? Because, when you do a gi school, you have to say what belt you are. You have to wear it.
Yeah.
And I know I have that meme. It's like, no-gi guys are just afraid to tell their girlfriends they're white belts. I have that meme. But do you think that it's more enticing to do a no-gi school because you don't have to say how bad you are at first. You just show up and be bad. And when you talk to your friends in public, they're like, yeah, I train jiu-jitsu. Oh, cool. Where? Insert no-gi school name. Oh, that's sick. You ever met him? Yeah, I met him. And then you get away from the skill right away, what you are. If you say, hey, I train jiu-jitsu at a gi school, they go, oh, yeah, what belt are you? Right away. That's usually the first, that's the first question. You got to go, oh, I'm a white belt. And then you got to like, if you can embrace it, then you embrace it. But if not, you go, yeah, but I've been training this long. And you make some dumb shit excuse of why you're a white belt. And like, you're automatically, the ego's already kicking in the dick.
Go to an open.
So you think it's better to be no-gi, like for enticing new guys? You think it's more welcoming?
Right. Go to an open mat in a gi. And when you pull your belt out of your bag, look how many people are looking at you. Because I promise you, there will be people looking at you once they see the belt color. Now they see the color. Then when you tie that bitch, watch how many people look down at how many stripes you have. It happens all the time. People are pre-sizing you up before the open mat even starts because they're going to be like, am I going to roll with this guy? They're already like thinking about, am I going to beat this guy? Oh, he's got 4 stripes, blue belt. He's almost a purple belt. I'm a 3-stripe white belt. That guy's going to smash me. You know what I mean? Like they're already putting fear in their head or like false confidence in their head. Whereas you go into a no-gi school and nobody knows anything. And I we've talked about this in the pod with me. You know what I mean? I'm just a blue belt. Matt has the confidence of a black belt. He can walk in any room and he's just like, there's only going to be a handful of guys in here like me. You know what I mean? So I've rolled with a guy that we had a no-gi class at Dedicated. Guy shows up, don't know what he is. Seems relatively fit. Says he's a firefighter. I'm like, okay. And I rolled with him and swept him. Got some side control, put some heavy pressure on him. And he ended up sweeping me back. I think he submitted me with maybe 30 seconds left after the round or something like that. But it took him and you could tell that he wasn't playing. Once he got swept, he instantly kicked into, oh, I gotta work. And then I find out after class he's a fucking black belt and has a school in Big Bear. And I'm like, if we were in gi and I rolled with him, I would have been so much more calm. But I think part of it's a reverence thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to try to smash you if I think you're a black belt because I respect you and I know that you're a black belt. You know what I mean? But if I don't know what you are, I'm going to give you the business because I don't know. I have no clue. It's kind of like a ignorance is bliss situation. Yeah. And maybe I surprise myself and maybe I surprise the guy that I'm rolling with. And then he finds out oh, you're only a blue belt? Oh, fuck. I wish I would have started my game a little bit differently. So yeah, you do roll different when you don't know their rank. That's 100% true. That's why I have that clip that went kind of viral. Don't respect the belt, throw your shit. You know what I mean? That's true. Just roll. And then get smashed. I have a wrestler buddy, the Warhead Wrestling coach, my buddy Russ, and he liked that clip and reshared it. And I think I think Russ really relates to you because when it comes to wrestling, he would be the equivalent of a black belt. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so when you give these motivational coach talks, he's just like I think he sees the parallels between the sports and the mindset. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, they do have that same grind that wrestlers have, and it's I think that clip really resonated with him because it's just who cares if he's a state champion? You know what I mean? You don't know that. Respect him after the match is over. You know what I mean? Go out there and play your game. Fuck him up. Yeah, play your game and lose. That was the whole thing. I think a lot of people get confused. They don't know what no one knows what I am online. I'll be posting some stuff like that, or I'll be posting some funny stuff, or I'll be posting some cringy stuff. I don't even know what I am online. But I'm here. But people are like, get more of this, more motivational stuff. I had no idea that I was going to say that then. That's just me hitting the live button and coaching. And that's just usually how my coaching rooms are. I was doing that this last Friday. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. And I just push play on it. That wasn't scripted or anything like that. So it's I can't just make that happen. That's just kind of something that happens. But like I said, I think you need to
just show them who you are. Wreck them. Wreck them. I don't care who it is. I get excited, especially in jiu-jitsu. You should turn the fear into excitement. You should see that higher belt or that ex-UFC fighter. Every time I saw a UFC fighter, because I was fortunate to train grappling with a bunch of them, I'm like, oh, dude, I need this W. Just because when I watch him on TV, I want to say I got him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I need this W. So I'd be like, now, is an MMA fight, is it 100% different? Yeah, 100%. But like when I would get a chance to roll with a Strickland or Sam Alvey or Tarek Safardine or any of these guys, I get really, really, hyped up about it. And I think people get scared. You're scared. Oh no, it's an MMA guy. I'm scared. It's scared. Why be scared when you can be excited? Because you're gonna have a story regardless.
Right. Yeah.
I just get excited.
I mean, I can see that. I trained real briefly about 6 months at Henderson's before Poncho left to do his own thing. And I got to train with some of those same guys. And I remember being like a no stripe white belt, like only training in a gi for, I don't know, man, like 3 months or something like that. And we're doing situationals. And I'm out there with Sam Alvey. And I'm like, this guy's in the UFC. He's wearing a brown belt right now. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing in a gi right now. I'm so fucking lost. And I just remember like leaving afterwards, calling my cousin. I'm like, dude, I fucking rolled the Sam Alvey tonight. That was an experience. You know what I mean? Like, and for me, it was that there's definitely levels to this kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't at no point in time was I like had the upper hand, but it's just a cool thing. It's just like I think you've mentioned this a long time ago in one of the very first episodes of the pod. It's like, what other sport do you get to go potentially roll with legends? You know what I mean? Like, when do you ever get to go play a game of basketball with Jordan? Like, never. There's probably a handful of non-professional players in the world after Jordan became who he was that can say, I got to play basketball with Jordan. You know what I mean? But you could go to Texas right now and go sign up at Kingsway and potentially have a round with Tonin, Marigali, Gordon, whomever. You know what I mean? Like, absolute fucking legends in the sport that are still actively competitive. And, or go to a seminar. You know what I mean? Like, Craig Jones rolls with, you might get your leg broken if you're fucking not nice about it. But, like, where do you get to fucking roll with the best guys in the world or play a sport with the best guys in the world? Never.
Right. And then bringing on Gordon, when you said like he taps all the time, going back to the beginning, he said he taps all the time in class. He's not afraid to lose a bunch of class because he puts himself in fucked positions so he can be dominant when it really matters. I think MMA fighters are the absolute best in a sport where you have to have ego, in a sport where you have to be like, I am the fucking man, or you're going to get your lights shut off.
Right.
They are the best. MMA fighters that I've trained with are the best at literally killing their ego and just welcoming the suck of something new. If it's a jiu-jitsu guy going in MMA and he sucks at striking, he's willing to do the MMA jump, he will go and just absolutely get boat raced on the feet in a Thai class.
Mm-hmm.
If he's like Sam Alvey, puts the gi on. He doesn't know the gi at all. He's a no gi, and he's a heavy puncher and a great dude. But he puts the gi on, he doesn't know what he's doing. So he's losing to guys that, if it was a real situation, he'd murk these dudes. But he's losing because why? Because he's not afraid to kill his ego to get better.
Right.
And if the greats can do that, the MMA like superstars can do that. And the greats in jiu-jitsu are saying that that's what they do. They're not going to look bad at you for not being able to do it at like white belt.
Right.
I'm not going to look at a white belt and be like, oh, he lost. I'm going to take notes of that. He sucks. I'm not going to say that. I want you to gamble. I want you to miss. I want you to lose. I want you to unlock your game. Because you're at white belt, you don't have a game. So how do you know if it's going to work unless you lose at it first? No one does the move and successful the first time. There's 3 stages to every move. There's knowing the move, there's doing the move, and there's hitting it live. And you don't even know the move yet.
Right.
You learn it. Practice it. Hit it live.
I think before we dive into listener questions, the one thing I wanted to end this on is it's one of my favorite white belt stories, and it's not mine. It's a story that I've heard Eddie Bravo tell on numerous podcasts, but he talks about his first day of jiu-jitsu and how he had been doing karate and whatnot, and he was like an adult. He was in his 20s and whatnot, and you know, been in some fights and stuff, and he's just like, I remember going to this class and rolling with this guy that was a purple belt. And he said, I got submitted, I think he said something like 16 times in like 5 minutes, to where this guy just did everything back to back to back to back. And then some people would walk out of there that day going like, fuck, this is not for me. Like, I suck. And his thought process was, if this man can do this to me and I walk in off the street, I want to be as good as him to where I can do that to somebody else that walks in here off the street. And I'm coming back until I can get that good. Mm-hmm. And I think if you can hold that mindset, like the sucky, shitty, getting smashed part, that skill that you have to learn to get to the next level, to get to your blue belt, if you can stick it out through that and you can have the perseverance to just get smashed and keep coming back and learn to love it, and eventually some sort of a defensive technique will kick in and now you learn how to survive. Like, that's the first step. If you can learn how to survive, that's step 1 on this path to smashing the guy that walks in off the street.
Yep.
You know,
if you want your professor to remember you, it's not off wins and losses in the training room. He will not remember those. He's got his own rounds. He's got his own tournament he's training for. He's got his own stuff going on. He's not going to remember if Jimmy over there took your back. You know what I mean? You want your professor to remember you, you win gold medals. You compete. And he'll be like, man, he got another gold medal. Why? He won another gold medal? Well, maybe I should give him 3 stripes this next. Like, that's how you get him to remember you. If you want to be known in class, you want to be remembered, you compete. He's not going to remember. They're not going to remember you working in your game in a training room. It's called a training room. That's what we're doing. Let's not. And the way you can tell the difference is compete once, and you'll know the difference. You'll know the difference. Like, wow, that was way different than what I'm doing here.
Yeah,
it's a different feel. If you've never competed before, the room feels like a comp, but believe me, it's not.
We got some questions, Matt.
Questions.
Let me dive over to this section here. First one from J. Rod McAllister. When are private lessons worth the money for blue belts? Let's call it $50 an hour.
Damn, J. Rod, you really fell from B team, huh? $50 an hour, dude. This is J. Rod's burner.
J. Rod McAllister? Well, maybe it's Jared. I'm like, J. Rod is, yeah, that's something Rodriguez. So, like, are you Rodriguez McAllister? Do you have a hyphenated last name?
So one more time, $50 an hour. What was the question?
When are private lessons worth
jokes?
When are private lessons worth the money for blue belts?
Private lessons are worth it. Private lessons will get you better. Private lessons will help you evolve and help you fill holes faster that you have in your game. 100%. You can get a game plan. You can learn how to, because you're basically asking your professor, whoever's giving you the private, this is what I stink at. What would you do here? Right. And he helps refine the game. So finding a guy your size, finding a guy who you're trying to model your game at, that is probably the number one thing I'd be looking for before I get a private. Unless you're a white belt or a blue belt and you're just like, dude, I just need help on the basics, then anybody can give you a private that's a black belt or accredited professor, right? So they're very important. You're going to learn this stuff regardless of trial and error in the training room. But if there's something that's really bugging you in a training room, dude, I'm going for it. I'm getting there, but I'm missing it. And I don't know what I'm doing. a lot of times you can ask them after class and they're just going to help you. Or you can sit down for a private with an instructor and he'll help you. $50 an hour.
It's cheap.
That's a fucking deal, dude. That's a fucking deal. You ain't going to find that in these parts.
Yeah, like Matt said, that, you know, when you go to class, you're learning what everybody's learning. That's, you get what you get. You know what I mean? It's the curriculum of the week. When you pay for a private, you get to, I mean, you're the consumer. You know, you're the one choosing the product. So
yeah,
I
remember you saying you had trouble passing guard, but you guys weren't working on guard passing in class.
Right. Yep.
So you did a private with Jason and you worked guard passing. So you didn't have to wait for it to come all the way back around the guard passing.
Right.
You're like, let's go back 7 classes ago when I wasn't even here yet. And let's work on this because this is where I'm struggling.
And the best part about that is that now once you have that private and you're working on that technique, you go back to class the next day and you're getting to work on the fundamentals that you learned yesterday in your private, but nobody else is on that curriculum. So it's not in their mind on how to defend what you're trying to do. So you can realistically apply that without them having the defense fresh in their head.
Hitting the move of the day is very hard because everybody's seen the move of the day and has been working on it. You usually have to wait till like 2 weeks after to hit the move of the day from 2 weeks ago.
Right. But a private, you can kind of mitigate that.
Mm-hmm.
This one's from Bloody Memers. It says 2 questions for the pod. I just got my brown belt and I'm having imposter syndrome because I just got stuck under a giant of white belt side control. Granted, he's a Marine, he's young, and I'm 45-year-old hobbyist. Just not sure how to enhance my game. I see other brown belts learn to work guys like this who are smaller than me. Thoughts, advice?
You got to, if it's gi, you got to get to the sleeves and you got to get to a spider guard. You got to elevate his elbows and you got to kick his knees. You can't like, you're not, if he's a big guy, you're saying he's big and I'm assuming you're a little smaller. You're probably not even able to lock your feet in a guard. So patience and pace is going to get these white belts tired. Patience and pace. If you're locking up with a white belt right away, say it's no gi even. That's too soon. You got to be in, you got to be out. You got to like cut corners, cut angles. Like you got to cook it with cardio. You can cook. Big guys can cook with pressure and side control and everything we just talked about, smashing and just drain the power bar of the person. If you're a little guy, you cook different. You got to be a sous chef. All the prepping of the meal is how you cook the big guy. It's like I'm using my speed. I'm the outside. I've already got this all planned up over here. Before I get onto the meal, I've done everything to cook it before I actually put it on the fire. And once you put it on the fire, he's tired. You can't just put it on the fire because he's going to explode and be too powerful. I don't know if that makes sense, but you got to do the stuff before you engage the big guy. You can't just engage right away. If you find yourself on bottom, you can't let the guy pass the side control. You cannot give a guy side control. Once a big guy gets side control, you're not getting it back. Period.
Second question from him is, what is your taken up to jiu-jitsu heaven move? So you land this move and the clouds part, a beam of light hits you and you just ascend to heaven at that point because it's the holy grail move in your book. Like I finally got it in a legit roll.
Oh, a move I've been wanting to hit forever.
Yes. Like, and it, like against the, you know, I mean, like, let's say, you know, we're just going to use Poncho because he's like the guy in your gym that you just can't beat. What move, if you were able to get it on Poncho, are the fucking heavens open up and Helio is just welcoming you to jiu-jitsu heaven at that point?
I think if I was able to hit a flying fucking if you saw me hit a flying armbar, that would
stomp on the knee and you're up and over.
Yeah, just boom. This not one from like where he's sitting down too. Like he's sitting down, I just fucking dive. Like when we're both standing and I just whoop, whoop, boom, and like I come down all beautifully and scoop the leg, and then Poncho's big guys are like no, and I'm just like yes. And I fucking, and then I wake up like, what happened? Ah, Poncho put you to sleep. That never happened. But that would be, if I hit a flying arm bar, that's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to throw it. Like, I'm not afraid to throw them. I want to. I'm not afraid to jump. I want to do it right now.
220 Matt is going to fucking.
I'm so scared of hurting my opponents. I don't want to throw it.
You could do it against a church.
He's already hurt.
Yeah.
He's already hurt.
His knee
I don't
want to
hurt their knees. I don't want to hurt their knees or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to like, because when you throw a flying arm bar, they got to kind of catch your weight a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got to know, like, when I throw it, like, I'm coming down hard, dude. Like, they're not going to hold me. You know what I mean? So it has to be kind of like a bigger guy that can kind of hold me. So maybe like 220 me might be able to throw it. But yeah, I've always wanted to hit a live flying arm bar.
Okay.
That's my move.
I think if I could vaporize her.
Man, you just cannot let the 10th planet stuff go with this guy. We've had this fucking guy.
Longer.
We've had this fucking guy in gi jiu-jitsu for so long. He's almost 4 years.
You can hit a vaporizer in the gi.
Almost almost 4 years. What? How many years you been in? To a two? Yeah, a little over 4 probably. We've had him. And he's fucking guy. He just wants to vaporize. I want to get to the truck. I'm like, come on, man. I want a taco truck all the time too, but I don't fucking talk about it all the time. Like, this guy is just can't let the fucking go. And once a week he sends me this picture. He sends, this was me when I was at dinner. This guy goes, hey, this is me when I was 220. It's just him. I'm holding his little fucking.
Yo.
He just won't let it go, dude.
10p for year.
Huh?
I said 10p for year. 10p,
dude. He was there. It made a big impact. Yeah. Whatever you can say, whatever you want to say about it, it made an impact on my boy over here.
And I'm here. I'm here still.
And he's here.
Mark leg action. Would you rather wrist lock Helio or heel hook Helio? Also, what's up with the busting ass?
Oh, okay. I'd probably wrist lock. Oh no. Probably heel hook. I'd heel hook Helio. Yeah. I'd heel hook Helio. And the busting ass. Hey, we were at the heavyweight class, okay? I still think it was my boy over here.
It's not. I swear to God, it wasn't me, bro. I swear,
Kenny, my God,
on my kids,
dude.
It was not me. On my fucking children, it was not me.
Whoever was at the freaking heavyweights class is gonna be like, yeah, I smelt it too. I would put moves on only during technique, dude, and it smelled. Someone was blowing ass, dude. Someone was farting so bad. I was like, God, what is that smell, dude? Someone was like, and it wasn't none of the guys I rolled with because trust me, I would have got it out of them. I was trying to do some detective work with side control. It wasn't any of those guys. So somebody was just farting, dude. I should have brought a Carl's Jr. cup for them.
Old poop cup.
Should have brought the old poop cup back for those guys. But yeah, no, they were, someone was really busting ass. And I was like, Kenny, Kenny, you fart? Not me, man. It's not me. I'm like, bro, I don't know, dude. It's coming right from your fucking hips, bro. Mr. Constipate over here.
Last question. Thick Boy Jiu-Jitsu. Why haven't y'all spoken about Buchech's UFC debut? Very underwhelming.
We'll talk about it. I don't care. I think a lot of it was the UFC jitters at the beginning. And I also think that in MMA, you have to be well-rounded. And you could be world-class at one thing, and Buchecha has definitely got that checked. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, wasn't able to watch the fight because it was 9 a.m. But what I saw is he was doing very well in the first couple of rounds, had control, had position, but I feel like, he gassed himself a little bit. And that could be, when you add strikes to your grappling, it kind of can take its toll on you. You know what I mean? Especially the heightened environment of competing, and it could be. Do I think Buchecha is going to be a player in the heavyweight division? I really do. I do think he's going to, in the next 3 years, he'll be a top 5 fighter in the UFC. But, you know, he needs work. You can say what you want to say. And he even said in his post, he's like, hey, it's not my first loss. It won't be my last, possibly. And I'm here for it. And I'm ready to get better. So he's been world champion at something. If you have the credentials to have been world champion at anything, you know the work it takes to be great. And I've heard stories of Buchecha at blue belt, and he never won anything. He would lose almost every time at blue belt. And he ended up becoming the GOAT. So I feel like GOATs figure it out. And he just, you know, he went as top 15 guy in the world, heavyweight. If you were fighting heavyweight, even whether it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's anything, you make one mistake against a big, like the guy a couple questions goes, you're stuck in side control. You know what I mean? You're hurting. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's no wiggle room in the heavyweight division. Even if the heavyweight landscape of the UFC is not great right now, there's still no wiggle room. Doesn't mean the guys aren't good. You know what I mean? So right. I think he'll bounce back. But yeah, definitely not the performance that we were all wanted as people were checkmate guys and Buchecha marks for sure. But I think that he will bounce back and use this to feel himself to be a very, very good heavyweight. And, you know, all you got to do, you're just 3 wins away. And in heavyweight, it could be 2 wins away, 2 good wins away from now you're making a splash for it. But like if you went up against somebody like Curtis Blades, so this guy was a striker, which, you know, that's why Buchecha, I think, is cardio is at, because he's dealing with stuff he's not used to seeing. If Buchecha would have won against Curtis Blades, or would have went, say it was Chimaev. If he would have won against Chimaev, do you think those exchanges on the ground would look a lot better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, styles make fights, but hopefully he bounces back.
That's it for questions, brother.
You think what I'm thinking?
Aim for the bushes, my man.
Aim for the bushes. My name is Matt, host Nation BJJ. This is Kenny at Freak Party BJJ. Follow us on all our socials. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. I'll post on TikTok. Kenny won't. Follow us on the Discord, BJJBalance.com, for all inquiries about sponsorship and merch drops and stuff like that. Episode 100 is going to be a hot one. It's coming next week. We'll be doing giveaway. We'll probably set that up this week where you can like make a post and get in there. We're going to do a couple of giveaway shirts that have not been released yet. We're going to do a giveaway of those. I think it's going to be a fun one. So if you're doing questions this week, guys, we need good questions this week. Fun ones. Kenny and I are doing the hot ones, wings things for the pod. So we need fun questions.
You should post those early. We should post it a couple of times.
I want to post them all week. I'll post all week. Top. Maybe we can make like a cool graphic with like the hot ones, like questions for episode 100. And I'll just keep posting every week, all week. And I want like top moments, top this, top that, podcast related questions, would you rathers, everything fun. I want episode 100 to be remembered as one of the best episodes we've had. So, and thank you guys all for being here for 99 times. 99 times you hit play and you said, let's see what this fucking fat dude and this fucking good looking bald dude does constipation have to say. And for that, we say thank you. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. Os.